Still up. Mark seemed surprised to find me sitting alone on the couch, watching TV so late. But that was it. As if he didn't even need an answer, he turned and headed for the bathroom. Last time his high school sweetheart called saying she couldn't sleep, he went into overdrive, so concerned he didn't need sleep, chatting and videoing with her all night until 3 a.m. And now, his wife of 7 years gets a measly still up. Nothing more. He casually tossed his clothes on the floor and went into the bathroom. The shower started running. I habitually picked up his clothes, threw them in the washing machine, went to the walk-in closet, grabbed his pajamas, and put them outside the bathroom door. Over the years, I hadn't been able to give him a child. I felt so guilty about it, trying to make it up to him by being considerate and kind in every way, paying attention to all the little things. But somehow the more attentive I was, the further he seemed to drift away. Like that night not long ago, when it was pouring rain, and I braved the storm to bring him an umbrella. He turned around and handed it to his one that got away. A while later, Mark opened the bathroom door. He saw the pajamas I'd picked out for him, frowned slightly, and picked them up. Why these? Which ones did you want? I asked, getting up. Today's your ovulation day. Usually you're super aware of that. Mark glanced at me. Before I could answer, he put on the pajamas and went into the bedroom. 7 years of marriage, and I haven't gotten pregnant. It's become a shared heartache for us. We've been to the doctor multiple times. They said there's nothing seriously wrong, just relax and try to stay positive. But for 7 years he's outwardly claimed not to care, but deep down he desperately wants a kid. So much so that he knows my cycle better than I do sometimes. Every time I'm ovulating, we wear the matching pajamas. The kind of understanding between us, a signal. But this time I hadn't gotten those pajamas out. He wouldn't bother to wonder why. Maybe my thoughts just don't matter to him anymore. He wouldn't care. His one that got away. Though just a little hint, and he'd drop everything to shower her with attention and concern. I was quiet for a long time, then went back to the bedroom. As soon as I wrapped my arms around him, he impatiently pushed my hand away. I'm tired. Can you just leave me alone? In the past, I would have tried to win him over, but this time I didn't say anything. I got up silently and went to the guest room. He glanced back at me, and just as I reached the door, he said, "I'm really tired tonight. I'll make it up to you tomorrow." He rarely says things like that on his own, but I was already tired, emotionally exhausted. Don't bother. I closed the bedroom door, went to the guest room, and couldn't fall asleep. Mark and I met in high school. We weren't that close back then. I was the top student in the class, but my classmate, the slacker, was always jealous and bullying me. One time, she and a couple of her loser friends cornered me in an alley, trying to shake me down for money. Mark saw it, walked by without helping, but he did mutter one word. Weak. Maybe that word got to me because I fought back. The result was predictable. I got ganged up on by 3 lowlifes, but I went straight for my classmate, scratching her face, knocking out one of her teeth and breaking her nose. Blew up big. Her parents angrily stormed into the school, threatening to call the cops. I was terrified. Mark stepped up and stood in front of me, facing her parents. "Go ahead and call the cops. I dare you. You don't want to do that. Your daughter's been bullying classmates, extorting money. You really want the police to get involved in that, find out all the details. I don't know if she'll do jail time, but she'll definitely get expelled." Her parents got scared. Mark grabbed my arm and pulled me away. Like mother, like daughter. Don't deal with them. Don't pay them a cent. If they want to play, let's play dirty. I just stared at Mark. He was such a badass. He dragged me back to class. I was on edge all day. In the end, she got a demerit. I just got called to the principal's office and asked what happened. Her parents didn't ask for compensation. To thank Mark, I took him out to eat. He didn't hold back, spending half a month's worth of my allowance. From then on, I really liked being around him. The year we graduated, I even lowered my test scores so I could go to the same school, the same major. When he found out, he asked me if I had a crush on him. I got nervous and nodded. He smiled. Good taste. After we started dating, he started caring about his appearance, buying expensive clothes, spending money like crazy. He often ran out of money. I couldn't stand to see him suffer, so I saved my money to take him out to eat. Later I got pregnant. We were clueless. We went to the doctor, who discovered it was an ectopic pregnancy. We were both terrified. When I met Mark's father, I learned that Mark came from a wealthy family. At the hospital, his father was cold, thinking about how to deal with the situation. Mark grabbed my hand without hesitation. "Dad, I'm going to marry her. If you don't approve, I'll be single forever. I'll never marry anyone else." His father was shocked. "Are you sure about this?" Mark held my hand tight. "Absolutely, without a doubt." At that moment, he was my everything, my one and only. 3 years into our marriage, I held him tight, crying, and asked, "What if I can't have kids? Will you hate me?" He said without hesitation, "I'll love you forever." We were happy back then, until Mark's father got sick, and he was forced to take over as CEO of the company. He started to get distant. I thought that maybe his coldness was just part of the domineering CEO gene buried deep inside him, but then he met his one that got away. The way he treated her made me realize that he hadn't just become cold. It was that we'd been married for 7 years, and things had changed. He didn't need me as much anymore. He didn't care about my feelings or thoughts, and I didn't seem to need him as much anymore either. Seemed like we could both let go of each other, like now sleeping apart seemed fine without the other person. I woke up late the next day in a daze, already past 9 a.m. I was late for work. I jumped out of bed and went outside the guest room, only to find that Mark hadn't gone to work either. He was in the kitchen cooking. He hadn't been in the kitchen in at least 3 years. Him cooking was unheard of. Mark saw me and brought a bowl of chicken congee to the table. Perfect timing for breakfast. I can't. I'm late for work. I quickly brushed my teeth, ready to leave. No need to rush. I already called in sick for you. Mark's words made me pause in front of the mirror. He came up behind me, wrapped his arms around me, and rested his chin on my shoulder. I'm sorry. I was too busy yesterday, and I forgot it was your 30th birthday. I promised I'd make it up to you today. In my mind, I imagined coldly removing his arms from my waist, like pushing his hand away last night. I thought it would be easy, but I froze, unable to do it. After breakfast, Mark told me to get in his car. I got in the passenger seat, flipped down the sun visor, and a few photos fell out. Picked them up. They were photos of Mark with his one that got away, Sarah. In one photo, Sarah had her lips pursed, about to kiss Mark on the cheek. Her lips were almost touching his face, and Mark was smiling. Last year, when his company had their team building event, I came along. I tried to take a similar photo, but he pushed me away, looking annoyed. This is a public place. Can you be a little more aware of how you look? Can you keep a little distant?